Hello and welcome back to the vlog. On today's vlog we're going to be reviewing the Garmin Forerunner 255. So I've had this a week now. Actually, tell a lie, I've had this just under 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow that I've had it. And I said, sorry, let me just move that. I said I was going to do a review after 1 week of use. So, but I've actually used it for 2 weeks. So I've done a lot more exercises than I would in 1 week, so I've got a little bit more of a feel of it, and obviously I can give you a bit of a better review than I can with 1 week of use. So let's dive into it. As you know, I used to be an Apple Watch girly, and it was only recently that I've wanted a Garmin for quite a while, but I've been waiting for the right time to buy one. There was never a right time. I just think I don't know, I've been buying running shoes and running clothes, and like I like to spend a little bit on different things like throughout over like certain periods, and I think it was time to get a new watch. So I was like, do you know what, I'm going to move from the Apple, because I had my Apple Watch for 4 years, so it was definitely time for a new watch, and I'm going to try a Garmin. And as I said in my last vlog, I was stuck between a Garmin and a Coros. So I was looking at them two for a while, and then I just thought, do you know what, Garmin's well known. I know a lot of people have them and say they love them, so I'm just going to get a Garmin. So I went for the Garmin Forerunner 255. So basically this video, I just want to go through like what I found is good about the Garmin, what I've found is not so good about the Garmin, what I prefer with the Garmin over the Apple Watch, or what I prefer with the Apple Watch over the Garmin. Obviously it's not going to be a very in-depth review because I've only had it for 2 weeks, so I'm still getting used to the watch. Like, it has so much on it to get used to, and I feel like I'm just starting to get a grips with it now. So let's get into it. The number one, aka the biggest pro, is the charge. The charge on this Garmin compared to the Apple Watch is absolutely like insane. So I would charge my Apple Watch every single night, and if I didn't charge it every night, it would die like midday the next day. And there's nothing more annoying than being at work, your watch dying, and then having to go for a run after work or go to the gym. It is so annoying, and not to track like your times and stuff. Whereas this thing lasts like, I've charged it, so I got it on a Saturday and I charged it the following Friday because I was going for a long run on the Saturday, and it was on like 30%. It was still 30% after 6 days. Bearing in mind I'd gone to the gym probably like 4 times within that space and done a run. And even then it was on 30%, and I charged it for approximately like 45 minutes, not even that, and it was 100% again. And then I literally charged it again last night, so that's another 6 days, and it was on 28%, so near enough the same amount. But I just can't believe it. Like, it's the best thing ever. Like, not the best thing is that you're not like, I used to forget my watch all the time because it'd be on charge, and then obviously I wouldn't have my watch for the day. I would have to go home after work rather than going straight to the gym to get my watch and stuff. Whereas this, like, you can just wear it all the time. You can wear it to bed, like, you don't have to take it off. So I never forget it. It's brilliant. Like, it's absolutely perfect. And the charge on this leads to my next pro about the Garmin. Because of the charge, I can actually sleep with it on for like a full week. And Garmin does a sleep score. It literally like looks at your sleep for that evening. So I found this, like, I've never been invested in my sleep at all until I got this watch. Every morning you get a morning report, and it tells you like what different kinds of sleep you were in last night. So it tells you your percentage for like light sleep, deep sleep, REM, and how long you was awake for during the night. And then it gives you a score out of 100 for your sleep, and it also tells you like what recovery your sleep has given you, and whether you need to rest for a bit longer to the next day, or say you managed only, I don't know, 6 hours sleep one night, it might say to you sleep for 9 hours tonight. So it gives you a goal of when to try and get to sleep by. And I do find myself thinking, oh right, Love Island's finished, I need to get my head down so I can get my 8 hours. It's not often I do get 8 hours, but when I get once I got a score of 96 and I was buzzing. I was literally like, my Garmin loves me today because I got a 96 sleep score. It's the best thing ever. Like, I'm so invested in my sleep now. The first thing I do when I get to work is like, Garmin told me my sleep score was like 80 last night, good kip. Or if it's a bad score, I'm like, not a good sleep last night, so if I'm a bit moany today, that's why. It's absolutely brilliant. I never ever slept with my Apple Watch on because I had to charge it overnight. So that's something new that I found really, really beneficial, and I just really love it. So obviously I got the Garmin to track my fitness better and track my progression better. So I used my Garmin on the first day that I got it to do a run, and I wore my Apple Watch at the same time. And I have worn my Apple Watch with my Garmin a couple of times, and the calories have been like quite accurate on a run. The distance has just been a tad different, not a lot. Heart rate has always been the same on both, so the heart rate feature is no different. It's still the same, so that's good. So I know my Apple Watch was tracking it properly, at least, because they were both accurate. But the only thing about not the only thing, sorry, the best thing about finishing a run with Garmin is that straight away you get so much like on your watch face. Like, you end the run and it gives you the type of run you've just done. It gives you your aerobic score, your anaerobic score, what your primary benefit is. It tells you your heart rate and things like that. But your Apple Watch, you just end it and it tells you your calories and it tells you your average pace, and that's about it. And also on the Garmin, you also get like your pace at that moment when you're running, like, whereas on the Apple Watch you get an average pace and a rolling pace. On the Garmin you get an average pace and you get your pace right at that moment. So I think that's really good, because I think sometimes you can be going a bit quick for yourself and see that you are straight away, you can slow down. So I find that really good feature. But one of the best things as well about finishing a run on an exercise with your Garmin, it asks you for your perceived effort, and it asks you whether you felt strong. So it gives you a self-evaluation at the end, and it gives you that option to record your self-evaluation before you can even save the run. And I think that's a really good thing to look back on, because when you save it on your Apple Watch, yeah, you can go on your fitness app later and look at it, but it's like end out of sight, out of mind. Whereas on this, you're looking at what benefits you've got from that exercise before you can even end the run. And I think, well, before you can save the run. And I just think that's really good, because you're making an active effort to look at what that run or what that exercise has done for you. So, and as well, you can't see the calories when you end an exercise, apart from, I think it's on like strength that you can see your calories, but on most others that I've used it for so far, you can't see your calories. And for me, I don't know if that's a benefit for most people, but for me that's such a massive benefit. Like, it takes my focus off, I'm burning this, I'm burning that, because I've had, like, as we spoke about before in the vlog, that I've had like eating disorders before. So I think it genuinely takes a lot away from that mindset. And I think, yeah, some people like to track their calories and it depends on your goals, but for me, I'd much rather see the benefits I've made by going on that run or doing that exercise, rather than seeing my calories. So for me, that's a really good pro rather than a con, but for some people that might be a con. So you can obviously see your calories when you go on the Garmin app afterwards, or if you put it on Strava, but for me, that's not my primary goal anymore. My primary goal is to genuinely like get better at running and all my other sports. So once you've saved your exercise on Garmin, then you can go onto your Garmin app, which gives you so much more than what you just see on your watch face. It's absolutely like incredible. Like, some of this stuff I don't even know what it means yet. It's obviously something that I'm still going to have to get used to, still going to have to learn. But so you go onto your activity and you get like your basics of what you've done. So that's a run that I did the other day. And then when you click on stats, you get all of this information from one exercise. It's amazing. So just for a few examples, you get your training effects. So it tells you your primary benefit, anaerobic, aerobic. You can obviously get your average heart rate, your max heart rate, cadence, your stride length. You get, this blew my mind, you get your estimated sweat loss. So it tells you how much you should drink after that exercise. I think that's bloody brilliant. Like, how do they even know that? And then you get these charts as well. So these charts are like, so one of them's your pace, your heart rate, training effects, and you just get all this information that you wouldn't usually look at But because now I've got this, I'm making a more of an active effort to look at it. Whereas on the Apple, I never did that. I used to look at my VO2 max and like, that's about it really. Whereas it tells you your VO2 max on your watch face. So I think that's really good. So for me, Garmin is better in that sense. You can see a lot more from it. Some people say that you can actually see that on your Apple Watch, but for me, I just never made the effort to look at it because, I don't know, I just didn't find it really easy to use on the app. So for me, Garmin is better in that sense. Also, so obviously the Apple Watch is touchscreen, the Garmin isn't, but I thought I'd really struggle with that, but I haven't at all. Like it's so easy to use. So obviously the Apple Watch is more of a lifestyle watch. You can get all your apps on there. You can text people on it and things like that. And obviously it's good for training. It's still accurate. I'm not saying it's not accurate, but it's more of a lifestyle fitness watch than it is like a runner's watch. And on your watch face, on your Garmin, you can literally get like, after a week of use, so it gives you your predicted race times, gives you your VO2 max, your training status, your heart rate, obviously, your steps, your sleep score, like I was saying. You still get your notifications on there, which I wasn't sure whether I would get because it's not an Apple Watch, but it's a smartwatch still. So obviously I'm going to get my notifications on there. You just can't use it to text back, but I'm not using it for that. I never really used my Apple Watch for that either. You can obviously, because it's like more of a like triathlete watch, it tells you like this week how much swimming you've done, how much cycling you've done, how much running you've done, and all that. Oh, and then my sleep coach is telling me that I need to sleep for 9 hours tonight. I mean, I'd love a 9 hour sleep. All that information is available on your watch face and it's so easy to look at. Like, and it just gives you more of a conscious effort to like check it and see how your body's recovering that day. And the predicted race time thing I think is really cool. But obviously it's not accurate. I know it's not accurate, but I mean, it's saying 50:47 for a 10k. I'd like to get a sub 50, so we're on the way to it. And then it tells me my predicted marathon at the minute is like 4 hours and 12 minutes. I mean, I did it in 4:04, but it's probably just how my body is at the moment. I would probably run a marathon at 4:12. And like, I just think that's brilliant that it gives you that, like because it's a runner's watch. And like I said, like it's made for runners and like triathletes and things. So it just really depends on what you want from your watch. Like for me, I'm getting more out of my Garmin because of my goals and what I want to achieve than I was with my Apple Watch. So, I mean, that's, for me, obviously Garmin beats Apple on that sense as well. One of the only things I've struggled with really using the Garmin is when I'm strength training at the gym. I just think it's going to take some getting used to. Like, it's easy to track your strength training on the Apple Watch in the sense of you just start and stop it and like it tells you your calories and things like that on there. Whereas on the Garmin you have to do like sets and like you can set it up to a certain workout and things, and I just haven't worked that out yet. So I have found that quite difficult, and I have been wearing both watches for strength training to see the difference. And like I said, I can see my calories on my Apple Watch and I'm burning more calories using my Apple Watch when I'm strength training than I am Garmin. And obviously, like, because of my mind, sometimes I think, oh, well, is my Apple Watch more accurate on strength training? But it's probably not. Like, I'm just looking at the calories and I shouldn't. And that's just a silly me. So I'm going to stop wearing my Apple Watch completely because I just don't want to look at the calories. And like, because my calories are not actively available on my watch, I'm not checking them all the time. Whereas like on my Apple Watch, I was checking every day how many active calories I burn. And I know like for some people that's important, but for me it's just a massive like help. And if I want to see how many calories I burn, I can go and do it. But yeah, so the strength training one, I do find it more straightforward with Apple. But I want to get used to it on my Garmin because I just want to wear my Garmin like forever. I don't want to touch my Apple Watch again. But I mean, no, I'm lying. I would obviously use my Apple Watch again. I mean, obviously the Apple Watch is a lot more aesthetic. Like, it's delicate, it's dainty, whereas that is big and bulky. Like, that's very masculine. And I also got the big face as well because I wanted the big face. I was like, why not? And obviously I've gone from a little tiny Apple Watch to that, so it is a big change. So I'm still going to keep my Apple Watch for, say, like when I go for like weekends away, or if I go on a night out or something, because obviously you can get different straps for it to make it look nicer. So I'm going to keep my Apple Watch, and I will still wear it when I don't want to wear my Garmin, because obviously if I'm wearing a nice outfit, I don't really want to wear my Garmin like on a night out or something. So yeah, I'm going to keep my Apple Watch. So in terms of like a con of the Garmin would be the aesthetic. Like, you can get nice colours, I suppose, but I just went for this one because I always wear black when I run. Well, near enough always wear black. So I was just like, I'll get that one. But I love it. I mean, I don't care about the aesthetic. I wear it every day for work. I wear it to bed. Like, unless I'm going out, I'm probably going to switch back to the Apple Watch, because I'm still using it to count my steps. I'm still using it for like track my running. Say if I go on run on holiday or something and I didn't take my Garmin with me, I probably will, to be honest, because I genuinely love it. So yeah, the aesthetics thing is, it's a personal preference really, but I don't really mind. So I'm getting on with this. Just trying to think what exercises I've used the Garmin for. So I've obviously used it for running. I've used it for spin. And when I wore it for spin with my Apple Watch, and the heart rate was consistent on both. So both were accurate. I've worn it for a HIIT session, and that was good. Strength is the only one that I'm going to try and get used to, that I haven't really used it a lot with yet. And then I also wore it for my first swim this morning. So that was good. I was always scared to wear my Apple Watch like in water or anything, so I never actually ever tracked a swim on my other watch. Like, and I haven't ever been serious about swimming. It's always just been a leisurely swim. And this morning I actually went for my first like serious swim, because I want to get into swimming as well. And I wore my Garmin, and I was like, I wasn't worried, because I just trusted it. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. And it really was, like, even in the pool, like it tracks your length. So it was in a 25-meter pool, and like obviously I do 2, come back, see 50, and then it also tells you your interval time, so for how long you're swimming for. And it also told me my rest time, so say if I was standing at the side of the pool for a second just to get a breather, it would count my rest time as well, so I can see that on my stats. And I just think that's really good, because obviously going forward, when I get better at swimming, I can see like how much my rest time is like depleting. So yeah, I really enjoyed using it this morning, and I really enjoyed my swim. So, but that's another vlog that's gonna come as well. So yeah, loving it so far. I've also got one more thing to add on to this vlog, which has nothing to do with my Garmin, but it's actually a public service announcement. So I didn't get into London next year, but me and Callum booked Paris. We're going to do Paris Marathon in April next year, and I am so excited, because a European race, my first one, and it's going to be a marathon. I'm so excited, like, I can't believe we've actually booked it. Sorry, that was just a little add-on, a little public service announcement for those of you that care. So yeah, 3 races booked, 10k, half marathon, and a marathon, and a marathon abroad. Isn't that amazing? Like, I'm so excited. And what a way to train with a new watch. So maybe I'll just do some more reviews as I go along and see how I get on with like training and things, and like give a review every few weeks of how I'm getting on with my Garmin, if that's what people want to see. But yeah, and also any ideas of what video you want to see, then please comment below, because I'm happy to go and do that for you. I want to go get my gait analysed again soon, so I can do a video on that, because I've been wearing the same shoes for like 6 months now, so I want to go and get that done again. So yeah, any ideas, any recommendations, let me know. Thank you for watching, and if you're thinking about getting a Garmin, go order your Garmin, or go even buy one wherever you can buy one. So thanks for watching, bye!